Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is an SU-14-2. It's the school bus. It's a Tier 8 Soviet SPG. It's on the north spawn of Erlenberg under the command of SmokenBoB. Yes, SmokenBoB. Battle started. Well, he's got the big gun. I can tell that straight away. It's the 203mm B4 howitzer. And that's got the big shell, which will do 1050 alpha, penetrating 52mm of armour. And yes, it does a bit look like a school bus, but it's actually based on a heavy tank. In fact, actually, it's the T-35 heavy tank, which is an absolute dreadful heavy tank. Really, really bad. If you've ever seen one in video, they really are appalling. And yes, David Fletcher was very disparaging about them because he said the dimensions were wrong. Well, they are wrong, and of course they built the SU-14-1 first, and this is basically an SU-14-1 which is enclosed. Yep, it's got a cabin around the gun. He fires around at the OHO, lands just a little long. He had to try the snapshot because it was going to go behind those buildings very shortly afterwards, and he wouldn't get another shot. Now he's carrying 8 rounds of standard HE and 8 rounds of premium. And the difference, well, it's the burst radius. 10.9 meters burst radius on the standard, but it goes up to 12.4 on the premium. And that's a big difference in damage. When you get 3 enemy vehicles grouped together like this, you fire a premium round at them, it really makes them suffer. Well, he only hit 1 there, he got the UDES, but 482 hit points is a lot. So at this moment, that UDES driver, well, he's feeling pretty sad because he's only got 1/3 of his hit points left, and he could be out of the game very, very shortly. And if SmokenBoB has anything to say about it, I think he'll be out of the game next shot. At least he'll try. He'll have a go. Yep, he's being focused on. Oh, well, it wasn't SmokenBoB. It was a shit barn who got him. The FV4005 claimed a kill. But that gives SmokenBoB the next target, which is an LT-432. He fires around in just a little bit late to catch him. Just a little bit late. Not his fault. The LT-432 does move rather quickly. And here's another one moving quickly. It's the Senlac. That's the Tier 8 British Premium light tank. They are mostly horrendous, the British light tanks, I have to say. That one's slightly less horrendous because it's a premium. Obviously, Wargaming want to sell it, so they have to make it slightly less terrible just to get people to buy it. It's like those people who buy dogs which are really ugly. You know, a dog only his owner would love. You know, it's dreadful. Okay, he fires at the turtle. And it lands right next door to him, so I suspect he's badly damaged it, but as he was out of sight at the time, we will have to wait and see to the end of the battle how much damage he did. And uh-oh, this does not look good. The LT-432 is trying to burst through and pays for it with his life. A bit of a mistake there. And that Object 704, well, he's taken bad damage, and will he make the same mistake of moving forwards next to those buildings? Because if he does, he's about to get artied. When he's turning round, actually, I think he's going to try and run away. Or is he going to try and get shots out the side? Yes, he just fired. Now, SmokenBob's going to have to dial in again. But here we go. Rounds out. And, oh, hits the building. Yeah. When you've got a narrow shot like that, sometimes you have to take a chance and fire. And he did. And unfortunately, on this occasion, it didn't work out. But his 2 enemy tanks, he does need to hit. Yoho and the Mouse. They're making their way up the central road, and that's straight towards Bob. So SmokenBoB might have to start considering moving. He's getting a better angle, and the reason for that, I think, is... No, he's not getting a better angle. He's going swimming. Yes, he is getting a better angle, but he is now swimming as well. Now he's still got a red line. Yeah, unfortunately, I think it's because he's too low down now. So he's going to try and move a bit further to the west and then turn to face the enemy. That's better. That should work. Okay. Now the enemy mouse is still on that road, but we just can't see him at the moment. The only one we can see is this object 2684, and only through those gaps in the walls. Oh, now there's an interesting target. That's the ship barn. Very, very weak armor on the turret. So if he can hit that, he's going to do a lot of damage to this guy. Could be even a penetration shot. He fires in. Oh, yes! Definitely a hit. Non-penetrating shot, though. I think it hit the hull. 449. You can tell a non-penetrating shot because normally a penetrating shot will do full value, and if it's non-penetrating, it will do half the value and then roll for the damage. In that case, half the value of the damage is 525 and then roll, so that's a low roll, that one. Okay, looking for a target. The turtle is still there, and yes, we can see he's lost some hit points of damage, but I suspect that may have been down to one of our teammates. Rounds out. Again, it misses the turtle, but it does stun him. Oh, and that 263 over there, and the object, the M41 Bulldog, are behind the turtle. Well, the object 704 actually poked his tail out and got it shot off, and now we've got that Senlac behind there. And that was our teammate in the M53, M55 dialing in on that corner. We're running out of targets to shoot at the moment, even though it's just we haven't got that many in sight. Like Conway's behind the building, but I think he's going to have a go. Oh, there's the enemy Arty. It's another SU-14-2, and he just shotgunned and killed our M41 Bulldog. We fire at him in response, and that looked as if it landed directly behind him. Tree goes down, so I think he moved forward after he got hit. So I suspect, yes, it did do some damage to him. And rather than move backwards and get hit again, I think he decided to move forwards to a new position. Okay, Wizzy120 trying to use that wreck as some cover. Well, that's a bit of a mistake. If you do that when there's Arty in the game, you're actually remaining stationary to hide behind the wreck, and you just get hit by an Arty round. Yep. 397 low roll, non-penetrator. Okay, the enemy mouse is retreating out of the city backwards, not wanting to show any weak spots. So if he stays where he keeps going where he is at the moment, we might be able to get a hit on him. Especially if he shows the side of his turret, that would be very nice, because that might damage him badly. Okay, he's working out where to put the shell. He fires the round in. This is going to hit, yes, and he got a fire. The shell hit the engine deck and set fire to him, and his premium fire extinguisher went off. You could tell that because there was just one brief burst from the fire, and then it was out. Wow, it's a very strange looking Arty, isn't it? But there's one of these at the Russian Tank Museum at Kubinka, and it's painted green, and well, it's big. It's very big. People have come back from Kubinka with pictures, and in fact there's a website showing the tanks at Kubinka, and this one is one of them. And what's amazing is that this Arty actually did fire from Kubinka. That was the firing position when they were firing on the Germans who were coming into Moscow. And I've actually been to the spot where they actually did get to when they were trying to invade Moscow. And it's very close to the city centre, I can tell you. It's surprisingly close. You think, how could they get that close and not end up in the town? 398 hit points there. I think it was the fact that the Russians were determined not to let them get any closer. And so they put up a really good defence. Well, I've been to the Soviet Union, or Russia, as it was when I went there, it was Russia. I've been to Russia several times, and to the Ukraine, so I've actually seen some of the spots where some of the battles actually did occur. In fact, when I went to the Crimea, which was very surprising, there was a famous battle up on the heights of a particular mountain overlooking Crimea. Oh, brilliant shot on the mouse! Takes him out of the game. And I have to tell you, that battle on those heights must have been extraordinary, because the Soviets were definitely intent on taking back the Crimea, and the only way they could take back Sevastopol was to conquer these heights first, over that overlooked this long stretch of land, this plain running out before this mountain, and I think it's Mount Sapan, I think it is. And you can see a fantastic display of Soviet military vehicles there, as well as a museum on the inside showing what they defended against. The Germans were up on the heights defending, and the Soviets were moving across the open fields towards them, and it was basically almost a massacre. It was almost as bad as the Battle of Monte Cassino, in that they had the advantage. The Germans had the heights, so they could see all the Soviets moving, and he's just got a nice big hit on that 2684 433, which means that there's now only 5 enemy tanks left. So the Soviets must have lost a huge amount of men in that battle, because every movement could be seen from the heights. Nobody could make any move without the Germans knowing exactly what was going on. And so they must have lost a huge amount of men in the process. It brings it all back to you when you actually see these sites and see what they actually look like, and you realise it was actually a phenomenal place for a battle to take place. You know, very, very dangerous. But I've also been to other battle sites in my time. Yes, coming up to my 60th year, and I have actually been to other battle sites. I've been to Arnhem, where the battle took place out in the fields. We camped in the woods, where the actual battle took place, where the parachutists were. When they first came in, they landed in the fields and then made their camp in the woods for cover. And yes, so we've been there. Oh, he's just bounced around from the Senlac. Shows you the armour on this Arty is actually quite strong. It is a heavy tank after all. And now he's going to have to take out this Senlac if he can, because the guy is going to try and take him if he can. But he doesn't want to fire until he's absolutely ready. Almost. He's taken around there. Wait until you get a firm shot. Yes! Brilliant shot. Right up his posterior. I say right up his asshole instead. That will get me downrated on the algorithm. But it was correct. It did go right up his ass. Nice shot there, SmokenBoB. Nice shot. Okay, now we've got a charioteer, lightly armoured. He's basically a Cromwell, and he's being torn apart by that AMX-30, who should tear him apart, because he is basically a lot better armoured than the charioteer in a sense. And that's it, the game's over. So one brief moment of panic when the Senlac appears out of nowhere. But a very satisfying end to his game. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats. And that was a fantastic game for SmokenBoB of UFA. He managed to get an ace tanker in his SU-14-2. He got a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 15 in that one. And he also got a Gore's medal for doing more damage than 10 times the hit points of his own vehicle, and a Confederate medal for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. And his win rate for that one was 6,133. So very, very good game indeed. That's Super Unicum standard, and he certainly showed it, not just in the damage he was doing on the enemy tanks downrange, but also the fact that he'd defended himself ably by taking out that Senlac, and he waited for the right moment. And I've said before in other vehicles, on other videos, make sure you hit them when the angular momentum is the least. That is, when they're not driving across your field of fire, they're driving away from you or towards you, then it's more certain the shell's going to hit the target. And in fact, in that case, he was running away and he put the shell right up his ass. Very satisfying. Let's have a look at team score. My gun, look at this, 4,285 hit points of damage. The next high score was that AMX-30, got 2,827, and after that it was the Conway with 2,508. When it came to kills though, he wasn't the top. That was the Jagdpan for 2. He managed to get 4 kills. The FE-4005 got 3, so did the Senlac. But SmokenBoB took him out and got 2 kills. And when it came to base XP, it was SmokenBoB. 1,217 base experience points, 953 to the Centurion and 922 to the T30. He fired 15 rounds, got 8 direct hits, 1 penetration, 13 splash. Now, I'll bet you that penetration is definitely that Senlac. Its shell must have gone right through him. Yes, it did. Completely through his rear. No chance of surviving that one. Damage of 4,285 hit points, of which 3,745 was at more than 300 meters. 2 hits received, both of them from the Senlac. One was the non-penetration. Yeah, he did fire that from one from around the house at the time. It bounced off the tracks, I think, and he also fired another one, I think, a little later. I thought there was 2 non-penetrations, but according to this, it only says 1, and 1 hit by way of splash damage as well. That may have been the other shot, actually. He may have fired an HE round instead, and he just got it wrong. Block damage of 180 hit points in total. 110 enemy vehicles damaged, 2 killed, and 114 hit points of damage assistance, and 749 hit points of stun assist of 12 stuns. On a premium count, he earned 59,429 credits, and he got the Veni Vidi Vici, the 50,000 credits, so his total 109,429. And after repair and ammunition resupply, and these shells are expensive. Remember, he was firing premium ammo at some of the time. His total came to 36,322 credits to take home, and that's still a decent amount, but if you take off Veni Vidi Vici, he would have had a loss. Now, he did pick up 6 bonds for the awards, and 1,825 XP times 2 for the first victory took away 3,651 experience points altogether. That's a very good battle in the SU-14-2, which is not an easy Arty to play. I've heard quite a few players say, well-known players, say that they dislike this Arty intently because they find it very, very difficult to play. But certainly not for SmokenBoB. He's done it very well indeed, and that was a masterclass in how to do it. If you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like and do subscribe to our channel. We don't have that many subscribers, which is surprising considering how many videos we've done and how much content we put out for the people on the who play the game on YouTube. And of course, we are the premier channel because nobody else covers Arty rounds, Arty games as much as we do. Klaus Kellerman does. He's one of the players, one of the content community contributors, that is, who's actually quite happy to play Arty battles, and of course so does Salty Jedi. They both play Arty because in case of Salty Jedi, he actually was an artillery man back when he was in the army, and in case of Klaus, well, he quite enjoys playing Arty sometimes, and you can hear his laugh when he's actually enjoying it and he's getting good hits. He obviously has the talent. So yeah, we are the premier channel for Arty. We put out more Arty battles than anyone else, but we do put out tank battles, and we do have Super Unicums who supply us with replays, and they are absolutely smoking games. So thanks very much to SmokenBoB, and thank you for watching.